It's been fantastic. 109 yards rushing from Tennessee, a lot of it on that big run by Chris Johnson. And then the passing yards for Texans. Matt Schaub has really made some sensational throws in the court. Let's look at the total yards. I mean, at the time of possession, Texans are hanging on to the football well, but I'll tell you guys, it's really going to be a great second half. And I think the guys who are working hardest are these defensive coordinators trying to figure out how to put the brakes on one of these offenses.
A reminder, this game is brought to you in high definition here on CBS. Titans with the football to start the second half. Ringer up the sideline, and it's a 24-yard return and for teams.
This is really key, the adjustments they made.
Collins throwing on first down. Couldn't get that one all the way over to Nate Washington. Mario Williams bearing down on him.
Yeah, Collins got hit just as he released, and you can tell that's a throw that's dangerous because Collins is going to throw that. He got hit right in the back as he releases it, and this ball goes a fluttering out there, and it's up for grabs. You see there, he got his arm hit just as he was cocking it back, and that's when pickoffs happen, when the ball gets batted coming out of the pocket.
Second down and 10. Williams with the sack in the first half. Chris Johnson running, and Johnson tackled by Cushing after a 3-yard gain. D'Amico Ryans also in on the tackle.
Yeah, you always come out after halftime and you got a couple of running plays and a passing play that your coaching staff has seen. And a lot of things, the things that go unnoticed, Gus, are the formations that come out after halftime. The coaching staffs of the offenses have an idea about how the defense is going to play certain formations, and then they exploit it for a matchup early in the second half to see if they can get the big play.
Third down and 6 at the 28. Here's Collins with time underneath, incomplete. What a job by Freddie Bennett. He reached around, ripped it out, and the Titans are forced to punt.
And this is exactly the way the Texans wanted to start it defensively. Remember, they didn't start it out all that well in the first half, but they've really come on. And Mario Williams continues, Gus, to be a real force on that defense. He is single-handedly carrying this thing on his back.
Hendrick inside his own 15. Gets away a beauty. Jacoby Jones backpedaling. He'll get a shot from the 12. Gets outside, down the sideline, and runs out of real estate as he crosses the 25. Nashville, Tennessee. The Houston Texans with the ball at their own 28. Matt Schaub pulls it down and wants to run. And he slides down at the 32, picks up 3 on the play. Remember, Schaub injured his ankle during the preseason against the left ankle.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 guesses which ankle it is. The one that's got all that stuff on. He's got an extra brace on the outside of it. And that was not a called quarterback draw. He got back, took one look outside, and decided he was going to get what he could get.
Second down and 6. Owen Daniels in motion. Here's the handoff. Slayton, nothing. Slayton wrapped up as he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that is Jovan Hay, a loss of 2.
And this offensive line of the Texans, you got to remember, they lost Chester Pitts, their left guard, and Casey Studdard is in the game for him. And it's always an adjustment when you start moving those guys around down in there. You just lose a little bit of efficiency. And, you know, the guard doesn't talk as well to the center of the tackle, and sometimes it shows itself in the run game.
Third down and 8 at the 30. They're 5 of 8 on third down conversions. Daniels has been excellent. Here's Shaw underneath Andre Johnson, and he won't get there. He's short. Nice open field tackle made by Vincent Fuller, a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, and he just came up a little close. Great tackle by Fuller, and there's some hesitation on the sidelines of Houston. Now they're going to bring out Matt Turk and punt it away, and it's a smart move. You can't get caught up in the momentum game, Gus. You got to play it smart, punt this away, and let your defense play.
Ryan Mouton is back deep. Punt for Matt Turk as he stands at the 23. he drills this one. Mouton all the way back, and he lost it. And the ball down at the 1-yard line.
There's Matt Turk, Gus, and I'll tell you, I spoke to him before the game. He came into this year in his 17th training camp. When you do things the way you're supposed to, you can play as long as you want.
Ball start, 71, offense, half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Turk with that 58-yard punt, and that's why Tennessee is nervous, huddling up in their own end zone.
It really is, and I'll tell you, punters, if you get a good one who can do that, they're the most underrated weapon in football. And when you can do it that way, you can play 17 years.
As you take a look from behind, as the Titans, bit of running room, quarterback sneak. What does that play really do?
Well, I'll tell you guys,
it gives them maybe a yard. But what does it do?
So many bad things can happen when you're inside your own 1-yard line. If you drop back to throw it and an offensive lineman gets caught holding, it's a holding in the end zone for a safety. If your quarterback backs out and gets tripped up by the offensive lineman, it's a safety. You got to have at least enough room to make some handoffs back there.
2nd down and 9 at the 2. This time it's Lindale White, flag on the play.
And that right there is a good example.
Illegal use of hands to the face, 66, defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the play, first down.
Delwan Robinson, and that'll give them the room they're looking for.
That's right. Well, he's up inside. You'll see
right there.
Right there. You see the head goes back, got his hand right on his jaw. You can't miss it. I mean, and he held it there. Look at it. You can't do that. That's a mental mistake.
Delwan Robinson, 2nd year out of Mississippi State. First down at the 9. Incomplete. Hall and Lindale White in the backfield. Lindale White trying to turn the corner. Nice pursuit by the Texans on defense. A loss of 1. And how about D'Amico Ryans? He's one of the captains and leaders of this team. A little pushing Antonio Smith.
Yeah, and this is kind of a young defense here in Texas. D'Amico Ryans, Mario Williams, these are young guys. But you know what, Gus? They've got to get mature. You saw there with the illegal hands to the face. You know, you got guys blowing coverages. You got them dropping coverages. You got them getting, penalties down inside their opponent's 10-yard line. These are the kind of things a young defense does before it gets great.
Handoff. Johnson again. Watch out. Johnson. Speed. Touchdown. Oh. 91 yards. This kid is incredible.
You know, Gus, and it all starts up inside. Just a nice job. Mono right around the corner as the off guard comes around. He grabs his jersey and just pulls himself through the hole. And then, as we've said, guys, anytime it's a foot race between you and him, you lose.
Baronis in for the extra point. Up and good. There's one thing to be fast, but there's a totally another level for Chris Johnson as he goes 91 yards for the touchdown. It's almost as if he gets to the 2nd level of the defense, it's over.
Yeah, they've got to make him stop and cut. Otherwise, he'll outrun the angle on guys, and they're not going to catch him from behind. They're just not.
Ran a 10.38 100-meter dash. Also was a 4x100-meter participant. So let's see how the Texans respond. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Chris Brown in the game. Boston. Owen Daniels, the motion man. Schaub rolling. Schaub throws on the run. Andre Johnson, did he hold on? Get both feet in bounds? No. Incomplete. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't think he got his other foot down.
Wait a minute.
They're talking it over. He might have had one foot off the ground when he caught it.
Incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
Yeah. And it's, Matt Schaub extends this play, and you'll watch here. We'll get a good look at it as he comes out. And this is exactly what you teach a receiver to do. Oh, wow. You got to challenge that one.
That was close.
You got to challenge that one.
Gary Kubiak thought about it.
He's not going to do it.
Second down and 10. Schaub off his back foot. And he gets Johnson this time. He's wrestled down by Cortland Finnegan.
I think you got to challenge that last play. At this point in the game, it's a first down play. It gives your offense a little bit of confidence. You know, and I just think this catch, his foot's on the ground. He's got it. Yeah, it's a catch. It's not even, Andre's right. He caught that ball.
Third down and 5. At the 25, fans back in this game now, and they've seen a beauty of a game. Schaub over the middle, incomplete. He had a hand in his face. Chris Brown, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Jason Jones had his hand up in Schaub's face, and Schaub had to kind of alter his release. Watch this, 91. Jones is going to be right there, you see it, and Schaub sees his arm swacking at it, taking a swipe at it. He's got to kind of get it around his arm and throws it kind of over the top of his own head rather than out over his shoulder.
Turk will punt 58 yards. He got away another beauty. Mouton from the 25. And Mouton, 50-yard punt and a 16-yard return. Chris Johnson will come back on the field. Wait a minute, there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, there's a couple of them on the field in two different areas of it, so it's going to be a question as to what they're going to sort out. One was at the line of scrimmage, one's way back down where the punt was caught during the return. So this ball, the only thing we know, Gus, is it's probably not going to be spotted at the Tennessee 41-yard line when this is all said and done. You know, it's important now, Gus, now there's a third. They just dropped a penalty flag again. Oh, he picked it up. That's a little strange. And Gary Kubiak's getting it out, getting sorted out. Obviously, this is going to go in his favor.
Gary Kubiak in his 4th season. 22-27 record as the head coach of this team. He's gone 2-6 on the road in each of the past 2 seasons. Last season, this team started 0-4 in the aftermath of Hurricane Ike.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You can see there, this is a holding call before the kick. And Gary Kubiak thinks a 5-yard holding penalty before the kick is going to give him a first down, and I think he's right. And that's really crucial for the officials. If they get a holding call on the punt rush, they have to call it before the kick. If it happens once the kick is in the air, then it gets tacked on at the end of the play. And you can see here. And now Jeff Fisher wants an explanation too. That's how far it is short of the first down. And Gary Kubiak has that to think about. And he says, well, if I'm not going to get a first down.
We have 2 fouls on the defense. We have 12 men on the field. That penalty will be declined. Holding during the kick, 56 on the defense. That 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. First down.
Well, there you have it. And that's what Gary Kubiak. And the 12th man is a huge mental mistake for the Titans. They got away with.
8:49 to play, 3rd quarter. And Tennessee holds on to a 31-24 lead. Welcome back to the Music City. 31-24, Tennessee with the lead and the ball. Jeff Fisher's team putting up a lot of points on the board because that young man standing next to him, Chris Johnson, has been incredible. Meanwhile, Lindale White turns the corner, chopped down by Freddie Bennett. Collins to throw, swings it out, and incomplete, intended for Lindale White.
And Kerry Collins, I'll tell you what, Lindale White should you know, maybe buy Kerry Collins a beer because he did him a favor throwing that one in the ground. Mario Williams sniffed that play out, and Kerry Collins saw it and just threw it away. And you can hear Mario Williams kind of laughing because he had that play dialed in. He saw the screen, got all the way outside, and stopped the completion. Once again, he is playing great and having a great game.
3rd down, 7 at the 19. Collins, Johnson, and they wrap him up. Nicely done. Amobi Okoye, the youngster, 22 years old. When he signed with Houston, he was 19. That's a loss of 4.
I'll tell you what, Gus, as good as the offenses were in the first half, now the defenses have got 3 3-and-outs. 2 by the Titans, 2 series by the Texans defense, and 1 by the Titans defense. I mean, this is, you talk about halftime adjustments. Both Chuck Cecil for the Titans and Frank Bush for the Texans made some adjustments.
Kobe Jones back deep at the 27. This one short. Takes a bounce. Jones scoops it up. Nicely done. And goes down to the 35. Tough play. They came ready for war here in Nashville. And they've seen a heck of a battle. First down at their own 35 for Houston. Chris Brown, the former Titan, stumbling forward. Wrapped up by David Thornton. Picks up a couple. And a flag has been thrown.
Those are always big penalties. I don't see any pushing and shoving.
Looks like there was some headbutting.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 44 offense. After the play is over, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Vontae Leach unable to control his emotions, and this is what hurts this Texans team.
Yeah, it really is.
Mental breakdowns, turnovers, bad penalties. For what?
You see him right there. You can't do it.
What do they say? The guy that retaliates is usually the one that gets caught.
No question, it's not a big penalty, but you can't step in on a guy and put your head on him like that, or they call it.
2nd down and 23 at the 22. Chris Brown in the backfield. Shaw firing up top for Daniels. Has it, and he holds on. 1st down, Houston at the 45. What a throw and what a catch. 34 yards.
Well, Michael Griffin laid the wood on him at the end of it, and I'll tell you what, Owen Daniels knew it was coming, but what a pro catch. He knew it, he tucked it away and hung on. Both guys did their job. Daniels had just enough time to tuck it in his left arm away from the hit, and Griffin paid it off for the Titans. That's a great offensive play.
5 catches for Daniels, 71 yards. 1st down to the 45. Brown. And Brown won't go too far. Hayes again. We've called his name rather, a number of times.
Yeah, these defenses really have played. You know, you look at the scoreboard, Gus, and there's all kinds of points being scored in this game, but I'll tell you, the defenses have made as many good plays as the offenses have. But I'll tell you what, these offenses have really made these defenders pay for every single mistake they've made.
2nd down and 10 of the 45. Schaub, short drop. Up top, and Andre Johnson goes up high to grab it and pull it down. Nick Harper was at the bottom. Chris Hope at the top to make the tackle on a gain of 9.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Andre Johnson, this is what I said earlier. He's big and he's nasty on the ball. He goes up, he knows it's coming, snatches it out of the air, tucks it away, and takes their best shot and gets up and walks back to the huddle.
3rd down and 1 at the 36. Johnson lines up at the bottom of your screen. Jacoby Jones in motion. And Chris Brown stopped by Chris Hope. He didn't get it. So now a decision has to be made. Doesn't look like the punt team or the field goal team is coming on.
Yeah, the defenders for the Titans, they get in there. You see all the blue jerseys, the light white blue jerseys on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage for the Texans. They actually lost a half a yard on that one, and now the Texans are leaving their offense on the field, and this crowd is way into it.
Houston gambling. 4th down and 2 at the 37.
And they'll take a timeout.
Gary Kubiak, Kyle Shanahan having a conversation.
I'll tell you, Gus, in this situation, what you do is you put your heads together. You want a play that you trust, go into a player that you trust. And I'll tell you, when you talk about the Texans, there's only a couple of players you trust. Andre Johnson and Steve Slayton, who hasn't been in the game in this series, and also there's another guy who's in the mix today for them, Owen Daniels.
That's right. So they bring Jacoby Jones as well as David Anderson, number 89, in the game.
Chris Brown is also in the game.
Daniels has had a big day. Dreesen, 85, comes in. Brown heads out. So they'll go with 2 tight ends. Jacoby Jones and Anderson at the top. Johnson, Daniels at the bottom. Dreesen, the tight end, at the slot at the top. Empty backfield. They go for Dreesen, and he gets it. 1st down, Houston.
Well, there you go, Gus. I'll tell you, it's a quality team that can go to the secondary receiver on a play like that, right in the slot, the 3-side wide receiver side, double out on the inside and a go on the outside, and it's up to Schaub to stick it in there into the tight coverage, and that's what it takes to win games, Gus. You gotta make plays like that one.
1st down and 10 to the 33. 3:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Titans up 31-24. Play action. Schaub comes up short. He was hit as he threw the ball. And he had a wide open Jacoby Jones.
Yeah, you're right, Gus. The Titans dropped coverage again in the secondary. Jacoby Jones was all by himself, and it's the pressure, and it's right there. Dave Bell gets in, watch as he comes off. Watch his ball comes off the corner right there and just makes the hit. And if he doesn't get there, Gus, that's a touchdown for the Texans.
2nd down and 10 to the 33. Out of the offset eye. Brown back in the game. Schaub over the middle. Andre Johnson, another catch, and he's close to a 1st down as he's...
Oh, they gave him some good yardage on the spot, and it's going to be a 1st down. It's a great spot by the official for the Texans. And once again, they convert and get an opportunity to bring this game tighter.
Yard game, 9 catches, 179 yards.
And Schaub did a nice job standing in there on that one, but you know the Titans are going to bring more pressure as they get closer to the goal line.
1st down at the Tennessee 22 for Houston. Quick strike. Johnson. Can he make the first man miss? No. Terrific. Nick Harper coming up, making an open field tackle.
He really did, and watch, Harper makes him move, kind of breaks down. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. And then, of course, he gets the help from Chris Hope, who comes over, and that's the mark of a good defense, Gus. It may be way out there, but they had 2 or 3 guys the Titans did pursuing really hard to come help.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Steve Slayton back in. He's the single setback. Schaub sets up a screen. Slayton inside. And Slayton will be taken down at the 15 by Dave Ball. He gains 7 on 2nd down and 10.
I'll tell you, I gotta like that play call, though. It's a completion to Slayton, gets him the ball in some space, and it really puts a doubt. It puts a doubt, as Kyle Shanahan puts a doubt in the defenders as to how hard they can rush. The pressure's been a real factor, especially in this drive, and that helps Matt Schaub handle it when he can dump the ball off right behind him.
3rd down and 3 at the 15. Slayton in the backfield. Big play for Houston. Here's Schaub. Throwing the fade. Andre Johnson incomplete, and a flag.
Yeah. And it's a good call. That was a penalty.
Pass interference. Number 20, defense. Ball will be placed in the spot of the
Yeah, he's face guard right there, and he doesn't play the ball. And that's the reason. Andre Johnson couldn't get to the football, and Nick Harper wasn't looking at it. If Harper turns around and plays the football with Andre Johnson, then that's not a penalty. But in that sequence, there's no question it was pass interference. That's a 14-yard penalty that gives him 1st and goal at the 1. That is enormous.
They bring in Chris Brown, a bigger back. He's 234 pounds. They give it to him. No, play action. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, Owen Day for Matt Schaub. And the Titans aren't going, the Texans aren't going anywhere.
It's a great play-action fake by Schaub. Watch. The line fires out. Everybody's coming. Schaub pulls it back and then guns it to the back of the end zone. Keith Bullock gets caught looking just for a 1/10 of a second into the backfield and can't recover as Daniels gets to the back of the end zone.
Extra point up and good. And how about this? 1:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and we're tied up at 31 apiece. Big smile on the face of Matt Schaub.
And Gus, that was a good, solid Texan drive for that touchdown. That was a well-run drive. They converted on a 4th down. They got the help from the penalty, no question. It was an 11-play, 65-yard drive that took 5:55 off the clock. Nick Harper was the victim of that penalty that gave the Texans 1st and goal.
A lot of jawing going on. This is a rivalry game, folks. If you look at the AFC South, it's the modern version of the black and blue division nowadays.
Oh, and you look at it, it's defenses, too. And look at here, these guys know each other.
Vanden Bosch.
They know each other really well.
And that's Eric Winston.
I'll tell you what.
That's beautiful.
Even if I had a striped shirt on, I wouldn't step between them.
His eyes. He's got something very interesting in his eyes, I believe.
I'll tell you what.
He's got red contact. If you can see him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Go ask that guy for his autograph now. You might get the pen stuck in your heart.
31-31. Oh, Owen Daniels, 6 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. There's Vanden Bosch. And the Texans send it away. Short kick picked up at the 20-yard line. Oh! And some hitting going on. Bentley. Kevin Bentley with a suplex.
Gus. Man, I am so glad I'm retired.
These guys are laying it all on the line.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, both
today.
These teams, you said it at the outset, Gus, you go 0-2 in this league, you ain't going to make the playoffs. You got to play outstanding the rest of the way to get in. You go 0-2, 14% of the teams make it to the playoffs. That means 86% of the time you don't. This is a big game, as big as it can be in week 2 for these two teams.
First down and 10 at the 34. Collins, far side, and it is incomplete. Intended for Chris Johnson. Jeff Fisher on the left. Gary Kubiak on the right.
There you see, Gus, 160 teams at the start of the season, 0-2. Only 22 made the playoffs, 14%. Don't think those two guys don't know that stat inside and out.
Second down and 10 at the 34. Johnson lines up as a receiver at the top of your screen. Collins. Near side, Nate Washington. In front of Freddie Bennett. Washington has had a good game. Gains 9 yards there. Washington 4 catches, 36 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and they've got Mario Williams rushing primarily off the right side of the defense on the left tackle, but they've been moving him around some as well during this game. And right now, Kerry Collins has got a little time, and now Mario Williams goes to the far side. He's going to try the right to one.
They pitch it. Johnson. Great pursuit. Mario Williams tracked him down from behind. On third down and 1, they lose a yard, won't get it. Texans get the ball back. And now that's a play.
Look at it. Mario Williams is 6'6" and weighs a bunch. And look at him cover that ground. They tried to misdirect a fake inside with a quick pitch outside, and they leave their #1 defense on the field just in case it's a fake at 4th and 1.
And a timeout.
Yeah, and that's a special teams timeout. They want to make sure they got all their P's and Q's done.
Team timeout.
Now keep in mind, Houston calls a timeout. That's their second called timeout. So they have 1 timeout as we head into the 4th quarter.
Yeah. And he's just Joe Marciano, the guy standing right there next to Kubiak with his back turned right here. This is Joe Marciano, the special teams coordinator for the Texans, and he was in Kubiak's ear. They were down a man. They only had 10 guys on. What happened was they wanted to leave their regular defense on the field, and one guy came off thinking it was the punt return unit. But at 4th and 1, you want to leave the defenders on the field in case it's a fake.
The little things have hurt this Texans franchise. Jacoby Jones lost it. Oh my goodness! Picked up. McCourty. First down, shot over the middle, and it's caught at the 30, and it's Dreesen. Let's take another look. A 6-yard gain.
You see, here's the fair catch. Now, he gets all the time in the world to catch this. Now, even if he bobbles it or whatever, he gets to catch it again. You see, McCourty's right there, and he does the right thing. I mean, McCourty's not going to let that ball drop. But if he had let it drop, he could then recover it. But because the ball is still in the air on the kick, he can't catch it.
He had the opportunity. He was supposed to have the opportunity to catch his own bobble. Second down and 4th and 30. Shaw going deep. Johnson incomplete. And a flag. A
Jeff Fisher's going to say this ball's uncatchable. I think he's right. I think it would have been interference had the ball not been thrown so far over his head, but I don't think the ball was catchable.
No foul.
There's no foul on the play. The ball was already past the receiver. The pass is incomplete.
Yeah. You see,
Now Finnegan and Johnson going at it.
You don't think they know each other? They played in the Pro Bowl together. They were on the same team in Hawaii.
They are still jawing with each other.
Now watch, this is the two of them, a couple of Pro Bowlers, great players. You see Johnson, he hesitates for the play fake, and then Finnegan, he jumps on him, and I'll tell you what, Finnegan gave him a little bit extra, too. Then Finnegan gave him a little bit extra when he got over the top of him.
Third down and 4 at the 30. Game tied at 31. Start of the fourth quarter. Shaw sidestepping underneath, incomplete. He had pressure. Kyle Vanden Bosch along with Tulloch in the backfield, and Houston will have to send it away.
Gus, this is a scrap right here. These two teams, if they didn't like each other before this game, they hate each other's guts in the fourth quarter.
So Matt Turk comes in, he'll punt from the 15. Mouton inside the 20, and another high spiraling kick. Fielded, juggled, tries to get outside, and finally draws forward. Welcome back. We're tied at 31. Houston and Tennessee, fourth quarter. There's Vanden Bosch with those piercing red eyes. Matt Schaub has found his rhythm in this game, but right now it's Gary Collins and the Titans on offense. He finds out, knocks him out of bounds after a gain of 9.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the intensity level, I think in games like this, Gus, it serves defense as well. The Texans, the Titans, they can turn it up as high as they want. But when you're an offense, you've got to stay under control. You got to think, you got to mind your P's and Q's. Defense, one guy can go crazy and make a play. Offense, it takes all 11.
Second down and 1 to the 36. Here's Lindale White. And a big play. Ground and pound for Tennessee. Gaining 9.
Yeah, Bussing ran up past the play on that running play. He came up on a safety blitz and just kind of ran past the ball carrier and gave White too much room to get up inside and get a big gain.
First down at the 45. Johnson. And cross forward. Cushing with the tackle after 2-yard gain.
Kind of right now they understand this game is 31-31, Gus, and they're kind of looking around saying, okay guys, let's not get out of control there. You can tell both teams right now, just like a good pro should, they've both taken a nice deep breath, and they're going to try and finish this game strong.
Second down and 8 at the 47. Crumpler again. Oh, nice move by Algie Crumpler. D'Amico Ryans tackled it. But that looked like a young Algie Crumpler when he caught balls from Michael Vick in Atlanta.
And this is a nice play. You're right, Gus. Crumpler comes out, just keeps his antenna up. He sees it, and he says, I'm not just going to go out of bounds. I got to get everything I can get. Takes it back inside and gets the big play. Algie Crumpler playing a lot more because Bo Scaife injury kept him out of the line. And he's doing it all. Crumpler's having a very nice game.
Collins in trouble and incomplete hit as he Releases it by Zach Dials.
And the crowd wants a roughing the passer call. They're not going to get it. But that time, first time in a long time, that Frank Bush has dialed up some extra pressure. And you'll see as he comes through. And he let him go. That's right. Dials, that was a nice no call by the official. The crowd saw Kerry Collins rolling back there, and they thought he got whipped to the ground, but it really wasn't. But that's the first time they sent some extra pressure, and it paid off.
Collins, 20 of 30, 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Johnson, high-stepping, gets to the sideline and gets wrecked. No flag. No flags. Man, is it physical down there.
It really is, yeah. Jeff Fisher's not complaining. You know, this game is spilling out, Gus. It's spilling off the field, no question. I don't think the crowd doesn't like it, but I don't think that's a penalty. Cushing doesn't. Now, it looks like Cushing is going to try and whip him out, but he never gets the opportunity to.
3rd down and 4 from the 31.
And it's, yeah, Gus, I feel like we're refereeing a fight here, really, because everything is spilling out over the sidelines. These two teams are really emotionally charged right now.
And a flag.
First, team timeout.
Actually a timeout.
Tennessee.
Tied at 31. Titans are driving, though. 3rd down and 4. At the Houston 31. Quick handoff, Chris Johnson, no. There, the rookie linebacker pushing another terrific play.
Oh, and that was crucial, too. They spread him out all over. Delay draw to Chris Johnson, and you can see there. Yeah, the defensive line does exactly the right thing, gets penetration and then puts the brakes on and hems in Chris Johnson so Cushing can get in there.
So they lose 2 yards. Titans going for it on 4th down. 4th down and 6 at the 33. They need to go to the 27 for 1st down. Collins out of the shotgun. Collins off his back foot. Gage! Incomplete. Gary Collins under intense pressure. Antonio Smith forced him to throw it. Matt Schaub under center. Here's Slayton. And Slayton lowers his shoulder. Tackled by Cortland Finnegan.
You know, one of the things about that, the Titans didn't try a 50-yard field goal. One thing, it's into the wind. Plus, another thing you got to remember on that last fair catch fiasco where the Texans got the ball, Craig Hendrick was hurt and had to be helped off the field. He holds for Barones, the kicker. I don't know that they can try a field goal if their holder can't get down on his knee to hold for the kick. That may have led to the 4th and 6 attempt going into the end zone.
Good point, partner. 2nd and 4. Here's the pitch. Slayton gets outside, and Bullock grabs him and brings him down. Wait a minute.
Big fight.
Got a big melee.
This is bad, Gus.
Flags everywhere. A lot of pushing and shoving, and you felt it coming. You felt it coming.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly. They got to get guys. And here's the problem, Gus. All those guys in there that are trying to make peace are grabbing the other kind jerseys, and that's what happens. We'll see what happens. Slayton gets in. Keith Bullock goes in, loses his hat, and Slayton gets pushed out of bounds, and then, you know, it's been spilling over all day.
Well, guys have been getting hit out of bounds.
Yep. And there you see the penalty flags come in. There was a couple of them thrown. And what happened? Here's the problem, Gus. If an official sees a guy throw a punch if he throws it with the open hand or the closed fist, whether he connects or not, it's by rule an ejection. And you got to know down deep in that pile, there not only was one punch thrown, there's probably 2 or 3 dozen. Because when you get off in that bench area and you got the wrong color jersey on, forget about a penalty. You're trying to get out of there with your life.
Wow.
I mean, you're trying to get out of there. You're going to have permanent scar damage if you don't get out of there. And plus, you got your teammates who are jumping in because these guys are close-knit. They'll jump in after you. They don't leave a man behind.
But I'm very impressed with this Houston Texans team because Tennessee, quite often known as the bully on the block.
On both teams. Personal foul, 89 on the offense. We have a personal foul, 91 on the defense, throwing a punch, and he is ejected from the game.
That's Jason Jones.
Both penalties offset.
Ejection.
And that was in the melee.
And listen to this crowd. Jones, talented second-year player out of Eastern Michigan. He's from Detroit.
I'll tell you something right there. His teammates don't have a problem with it. Now, he's got to leave the sidelines, but his teammates know. And the crowd appreciates a guy sticking up for his teammates. It may cost this team ultimately in their rotation on the defensive line. But I'll tell you what, both these teams, to this point, Gus, have not flinched.
3rd down and 4th at 39. Jacoby Jones in motion. The handoff, Slayton on 3rd, lost it. Who's got it?
The Texans got it back almost immediately.
And the Texans will hold on.
It's going to be close. I don't think he got it, but they're looking at it like they may measure. He's going to come up a hair short. Well, I don't know. And there it is. It's out clean. And alertly, oh. Yeah, Rashad Dwayne Brown jumped on that. It bounced right up to him, and that is that much short. Yeah, I thought it was going to be short, and I'll tell you what, I don't mess around with this. Punt this thing away and get your defense back out on the field. And I'll tell you, Gus, here's what and if you're a special teams player, these are the crucial moments in the game, just like they are for offense and defense. And we've seen it. Here's what you tell them. First things first, make sure if you're the Tennessee Titans that when this play is over, you have the football. No matter what, even if it's on your 1-yard line, you have to end this play with the football.
Turk will punt it away from the 28. Mouton inside his own 10. Nice snap. And Turk, another beauty. All the way into the end zone. Welcome back to Nashville. Still tied at 31, 8:44 to play in the 4th. Tennessee, Houston, Titans with the ball at the 20. Johnson around the corner. Cushing there to stop him after a 4-yard gain.
Gus, it's 31-31. I don't know who's going to win this game, but man, I hope we get to call round 2. Because that's the thing you got to remember. This is a division game. Both these clubs know it's worth really a game and a half in the standings, and they got to play again. And this one is going to be remembered when they line up again.
2nd down and 6 at the 24. Johnson looking, and Johnson picks up about 3.5, 4. Antonio Smith with the tackle. Craig Hendrick, their punter, has a calf injury. So Donnie Nicky, backup safety, number 23, very versatile athlete, has been warming up as the punter. Baronis may come in to punt as well.
Yeah. Nicky, an Ohio State guy. But, you know, believe me, you don't suit up a spare punter, Gus. And if they come down to a fourth and long, I mean, he's going to have to go in and kick it.
3rd down and 2 at the 28. Collins rolling out, buying time, and throws it out of bounds. So let's see who's coming in to punt.
Here you go.
It's going to be Baronis. Now he is the kicker.
Yeah, and this is really, and it's funky because you got to catch the snap and kick it, and it's not as easy as it looks, particularly when you got 3 or 4 or 5 guys busting through trying to break your leg as it hits the ball.
Jacoby Jones at the 33. And a line drive. Jones will field this one. No, it takes a bounce. Wasn't pretty, but he got it down the field. First down at 10 at the 32 for Houston. Play action. Schaub down the field. Jones open. Here comes Jacoby. Spins and goes down inside the Tennessee 25. Nick Harper with the saving tackle, but it's a gain of 44.
The play action does it. They ran this exact play earlier in the second half, Gus. It came wide open on the near side. They ran it to the other side, and it came open exactly the same way. Kyle Shanahan calling the play up again, and Jacoby Jones this time, no pressure on Schaub, and he got it there.
He already has a touchdown. First down at the Tennessee 24. Chris Brown pulling his way forward. And Keith Bullock with the tackle. Remember, Jacoby Jones given a lot of opportunity, and his coach told us that because of the injury to Kevin Walter, who has a hamstring injury, their starting receiver, Jacoby would not only run back punts and kicks, but also get a lot of reps at wide receiver, and he's delivered. Look at the numbers.
Now look at his haircut. I like it. I like it.
Second down at 7 to the 21. Out of the eye. Leach and Brown. Leach in motion. Shaw down the field. Johnson in the corner, incomplete. Little too much. Johnson was open, but he would have had to put that.
He gave it a try, and he threw it the right way. If Andre doesn't get it, nobody gets it. And he's right, it did come open. The play action has really fooled the secondary of the Titans. They've really jumped on it. And the receivers have come open on routes where they break to the sideline and then right up. They turn it, and little out and up routes have really given the Titans fits.
Third down at 7 to the 21. They need to go to the 14 for first down. Empty backfield for Matt Shaw. Over the middle. Johnson with the catch. Leans forward and picks up a first down. And that is the 500th career reception for Andre Johnson as Nick Harper stops him.
Oh, they didn't
third and 7, they get 7.
They didn't get it.
You don't think?
Oh, I thought he got it, and they got a bad spot. And I'll tell you what, the Texans have one timeout left, Gus, and I almost would use it to challenge the spot to see if they gain the line if they don't get it on this measurement. You see here, he's got to get to about the 14-yard line, and it's just a question of where they spot it, and it's all judgment. And I think and it's where when he goes backwards, it's where his oof. That's this game, Gus. This entire game has been played on the edge of a razor blade.
So what does Gary Kubiak do? One timeout left, as you mentioned. It looks like Houston will go for it. No challenge. Man to man. Who wants it more? Shaw. Empty backfield. He's a big guy. Anderson in motion. Quarterback sneak, leans forward and gets it. Matt Schaub, 6'5", 240. And what a game he's had. First down, Texans.
You know, it's interesting because they haven't run that play at all. I mean, a quarterback sneak, you know, every team has it. And I'll tell you what, the Titans are expecting it. And there really is a knack. You got to have a lot of trust in your quarterback. There's some big, strong quarterbacks who can't run the sneak. sneak. It's not just a matter of getting the snap and just leaning forward. There's a technique to it, and he carried it out perfectly there. What a huge first down.
From the 13-yard line, Chris Brown remains in the game at tailback. Leaches the up back. Here's Brown. Spinning. And he goes down at the 12. Kyle Vanden Bosch with the tackle, a 1-yard gain.
And the Titans come up. They've got 8 guys in the box. They're playing man-to-man on the outside. That goes for Andre Johnson as well. Just one guy, one-on-one. Just knowing, daring the Texans to try and throw it. 4:05 left, which changes the timing. And plus now, in the 4-minute offense, they might want to eat that clock. They don't want to give Kerry Collins any time.
Second down and 9. Jacoby Jones in motion. Play action. Over the middle, incomplete. Schaub hit as he lets it go. Great pressure being applied by Chris Hope.
And they brought Jacoby Jones in on the other side, and he just doesn't step out to the outside guy. Chris Hope is unblocked. And instead of getting the outside guy, they had 4 guys blocking 3, and the 4th guy on the outside got a free shot at Matt Schaub.
Third down and 9 of the 12. Texans are 5 of 14 on third down conversions. They need to get inside the 5-yard line. About the 4. Schaub. Draw play. Hope. And he will not get there. He stumbles to the 5, an 8-yard gain. So the clock continues to run, 3:27. Here comes Chris Brown and the field goal unit. Gary Kubiak normally doesn't watch field goal attempts. He'll turn his back on them.
Not only does he turn his back, he walks the opposite direction.
And that's what he's doing right now. Brown sets up from 23 yards away. And it's good. So with 2:55 to go in the 4th, the Texans on the road take a 34-31 lead. And this is the kind of game that if the Texans win, it can transform this team. Win a huge game in Green Bay.
They played extremely well, and that's the kind of game that gave this franchise higher expectations coming into training camp this year.
Javon Ringer back deep. Starts from his own goal line. Ringer head of steam, and he is tracked down from behind. Beautifully done by Ryan Moats, the former Eagle. Some of the numbers accumulated in this game.
Look at these numbers. And I'll tell you what, the one turnover was after when Kerry Collins got hit in the face as he released it. But look at the total yards, the pass yards. You know, the rushing yards really impressive for the Titans, but that throws in a couple of huge runs by Chris Johnson. It has been an absolute fun game to watch.
First down and 10 at the 26. Collins hands it off to Johnson. Johnson trying to break tackles and is wrestled down at the 30 by D'Amico Ryans. And that is a gain of 4.
You can tell this is getting inside the 2.5-minute mark. And the Texans are looking around, and everybody, both sidelines, are starting to look around. Okay, what's left in this game? What do we have to do to win this game? For the Texans, it's stop the Titans right here. And for the Titans, it's move the football and the change and stay on the field offensively.
Collins, sideline, Crumpler, the 4-time Pro Bowler. 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 3-point game, Texans with the lead. And on third down and 1, quarterback sneak by Kerry Collins. But here's the situation to tie this game. Baronis, who has struggled early on in the season, will have to try to kick a field goal without his holder. Loose ball. Texans say they have it.
Well, here's the game right here at the bottom of that pile, Gus. And we'll see. Kerry Collins lost it, wasn't hit by anybody, was going to start to tuck it away and dropped it out of his own hand. And when that ball hit the ground, here we go.
And Tennessee turns it over. The Texans have it.
There it is.
Coming up with it, guess who? Jeff Scanina. Wow.
Holding, 76, offense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Wow, Jeff Scanina, who made this team on pure hustle. Another look.
I was talking to the defensive line coach before the game, Bill Kohler, and he said, Jeff Scanina is in the National Football League for 17 years because he does everything he's supposed to do. He runs hard after every play. He plays hard, practices hard. He long snaps. That's the reason the guy can play forever, and that's another reason. Being in the right place because he hustled after a play that should have been over.
Tennessee still with 2 timeouts left. 1:32 to go. Brown still running. Breaks it outside. Picks up a first down. Finnegan with the tackle, a 13-yard gain.
And I'll tell you what, coming back to Tennessee, watch the fumble. Kerry Collins just steps up. Nobody hits him. And see there, he knocked it off his own chest, trying to tuck it away. And I'll tell you, a quarterback against a defensive lineman fighting for the ball under the pile. My money goes on the guy with the big, hairy hands.
Collins with an interception and a lost fumble in this game. The only 2 turnovers. And here's the biggest stat that you could ever hear for this Houston Texans squad. The Texans, no turnovers today. And coming into this game, 13-2 under Kubiak when winning the turnover battle. The handoff. Brown, 2 hands on the football. Gary Kubiak.
And that's it. You can see with that play, now the Texans can run the clock out. Kerry Collins and Jeff Fisher, we said at the outset, the Tennessee Titans really believed that they let one get away last week in Pittsburgh. It bothered them all week. They had a chip on their shoulder at practice. They were ready to come in, play well here today, and get that monkey off their back, that bad taste out of their mouth. And they did start out very well. But here today, the 2 turnovers really gave the opportunity for the Texans to get back into the game when Tennessee did get off to that fast start. And now the Texans came back, took the lead, and now are going to run the clock out for the win. What a huge turnaround for the Texans and a huge stumble for the Titans. And that guy, Gary Kubiak, you want to talk about a signature win, going to Tennessee, to Tennessee on the road, beating a team that was 13-3 a year ago.
10-0 to start.
And 10-0 to start last season. That says a lot about the bounce back ability, because as we said, they did not look good against the Jets a week ago. I'll tell you what, they looked really good today.
The Titans will be at the Jets next week. And that'll do it. Congratulations to Gary Kubiak and the Houston Texans coming to Tennessee, winning on the road 34-31.